Still says, there we go.
So, hey, what is up, everybody? Welcome to another episode of Sneakers Through Your Speakers. We are your hosts, OT Dub and Seth from Fowler Customs. Today, we have our very, very special guest, the one and only, the Black and Two Splendor God, aka the bearded Tony Hawk, Yoanty.
I like both of those nicknames. You got the Boost God, Black and Splendid. I mean, you saw him a skateboarder.
I seen it, man. I seen it. How's the boy treating you?
I've almost broken my neck twice. But, thanks for having me on, guys. I'm excited.
Of course, we are too, for sure.
How's the skateboard life treating you?
Not bad. I'm every day. It's like a practice day for me, you know. So it's a lot of work. It's actually like kind of a fun workout. So yeah, I'm only on penny board status though. Just a little one, little cruiser. But yeah, I'm working my way up.
Now, those things are cool. You actually inspired me to bust my skateboard out from my closet and start riding again. I was like, dude, what is nice? Might as well.
Right.
Might as well, yeah.
It's a good time for it, you know?
Yeah. Actually, speaking of good time, I think the great time right now is to bring up the topic of Lavar Ball.
Oh, man.
His sneaker. That release. When did it release? Last Friday? The Friday before that?
So, funny story. It hasn't released yet. It's just a pre-order, and you don't get your money back even if they don't release the sneaker.
Yeah, right. Are you serious?
Dead serious. Dead serious. Big disclaimer on their website.
So it's not. Oh, it was just a pre-order, but
comes out in like August or November or something like that.
But if it doesn't release, you don't get your sneaker back. I mean, your money's back.
Yep.
Okay, I think I already have my feelings about that right off the top. Like, what do you think about his sneaker, Yoanty?
So, like, what like Lavar Ball is doing, I actually think is kind of smart from, you know, a marketing standpoint. You know, he's selling himself, his family. He knows how to get people's attention. That's true. And there's that's not easy to do. You know, he's literally like everyone in the entire world, or, you know, at least country, I don't know, is talking about this. It's on headline news, not just like entertainment, just like news everywhere. And that's, I think, a big part of the reason why he's doing it. So like the shoe itself, like I have no clue who is manufacturing it, where they're doing it, where they're getting these pieces, what the quality actually is. Like it almost looks like there's like a Boost foam. It almost looks like a Kobe, really. But I don't know where they're sourcing these materials. So I can't see it being that quality of a shoe. But, you know, he's come out and said basically like, I don't really care. It's almost he's looking at it more at like an art piece in a weird way.
Yeah,
it's almost like people that like scribble a bunch of crap on a piece of paper and go $500. You want it, you know? So
yeah, like this is my name, so $500.
Right. Exactly. So like the shoe itself, like I'm not spending $500, but there are a lot of like athletes and celebrities coming out and saying they're going to support because they appreciate the hustle. Like he was on Skip Bayless and Shannon Sharp show, and Shannon Sharp was kind of like, you know, I know he's crazy in the shoe. He's like, Shannon has a lot of sneakers, so he's like, the shoe's kind of, you know, and then he like slept on it. The next day he said, you know what, I'm gonna buy those because I want to support, you know, my brother. I want to support them. I actually have an appreciation for what they're doing. So the guy's obviously, you know, a little bit tapped, but at the same time he's playing a persona in a way. He knows when he says something, he kind of laughs.
He's saying it to get the rise out of other people. Yeah, so the market. That's his marketing ploy.
I think the worst thing you can do is take him too serious, because then you'll actually get mad, and it's not. Exactly. He's like playing with it. I do think he needs to like buckle down and sign an actual contract with an actual company before he costs his kid.
A shoe company?
Yes. Like
I heard that nobody wanted to talk with him though. Was that just a rumor?
He wants, basically, let's just call it, let's say Under Armour. He says, I want you to pick up big baller brand, and then you basically run and support that brand. You know, so no one wants, because, and let's be honest, that's not an actual brand. It's no different than
look at the logo.
Brand. Like, you're slapping a logo on a t-shirt. So the brand, he's just trying to capitalize in any way he can. But I just think he shouldn't. If one of these companies is going to pay him, Lonzo an actual, contract, sneaker contract, I hope they're not silly and he's already cost his kid some money,
I know, for sure.
Yeah, I think he's – go ahead.
Oh, I was just going to say, I think honestly, like his kid has a really Lonzo has a really like quiet personality, and I think that's kind of that's a problem for him because all the big stars, they have those big personalities, and that's really marketable. Whereas Lonzo's this quiet dude, and of course his dad's this crazy, like almost obscenely outgoing guy who's of course going to take the spotlight. And if he's got something to market, he's going to do it. And unfortunately, it's his son because he's kind of using his son in that aspect. And I think he's as much as he says he's doing it for his son and for his family, I think it's for himself, to be honest.
Yeah. What's funny is last year, it was in April of last year, I went to Chicago for the McDonald's All-American dunk contest. Powerade sent me out there, Homer Simpson, and a few other guys.
That was dope.
And Lonzo was there because he was like one of the best players, in the country. And I remember seeing him, and I was looking at all these kids, Kyle Guy and a few other guys, and I was looking at these guys. I was like, oh, I wonder which ones are going to actually be stars because LeBron's played in it, KD has. So I was like, one of these guys is going to be a star. And I remember Lonzo, at one point they got on stage and they were going to make Lonzo dance with like another girl, and he was like super, super awkward. I remember being like, weird, like he just looks awkward. And then his dad came out, which at the time he wasn't anyone, and his dad started dancing and LeVar put on this wacky show. He was going crazy dancing, and Lonzo was sitting there just like head down, like so embarrassed. And I remember just thinking like, I have secondhand embarrassment from everything that's going on in stage right now. I'm just like, this is like
embarrassment.
but either way, like from that day forward, I always kind of checked up on Lonzo. I was like, all right, he's going to UCLA, and I want to follow him because I remember I saw him in person,
Right.
And it dawned on me, like this was like a few months ago. I was like, oh crap, his dad was there, and he was just as crazy as he is now,
That's a great story. That's crazy. I never would have thought to look back that far. That's awesome.
Yeah. So yeah, that was a cool event. So like even like they did it again this year. I think Fomer and his brother did go.
Nice.
Yeah.
Very cool. Very cool.
His dad is like trying to revive his own fame through his sons, since he knows his son isn't gonna like speak up or at all.
Right.
Yeah.
But I will say I do think I think it does put an added pressure on Lonzo to come out and perform his rookie year.
I think he has to, because people have a target on his back. You know what I mean? Like all the big players, especially after what Lavar said about LeBron and his family. Like LeBron never fucking responds. I'm sorry. LeBron never says anything back to to people who like kind of backtalk him, and he just went right after him. And I think Lonzo's gonna have a lot of trouble going into the NBA.
Yeah,
sure.
I agree.
Terrible for him. That's kind of like a lot of weight on your shoulders. He's not even in the league yet. Like,
right.
Yeah. Have you guys? Someone in the comments said, I believe it was Black X6 says, what about Lil Dicky? He's the best of the Ball brothers. Have you guys seen that ESPN video where they get Lil Dicky, the rapper, and he pretends to be like the fourth Ball brother? Have you guys seen that?
I haven't seen it.
I heard about it, but I actually haven't watched it.
I would watch the edited version that's on Facebook because there's some like kind of slow points in the middle of it, but it's hilarious. It's the funny. You guys have to check it out for sure.
Yeah, definitely will.
Lil Dicky's the man. He's a character. You guys ever see him? Like I saw that video with him and Snoop Dogg. That was the first one I ever saw.
Yep.
Yeah, he's funny.
Definitely. Well, why don't we move forward? And here's a question for you, Yoanty. Do you think that basketball players still hold the same weight as far as influencing goes? Or do you think the torch has been passed on to entertainers like Kanye, for example?
Yeah, I do think it's, as far as the social media world goes, as far as influence, I do think, at least for me, I mean, I'm older, I'm 32, so I don't get as influenced by an athlete wearing shoes as, say, like a 7th grader or an 8th grader will. Right. My girlfriend's actually a teacher. She teaches 8th grade kids, and we do stuff on Friday nights with them. It's like a teen center, 6th to 8th grade, and they all play basketball. And they're all, when anyone's that age, you're very, heavily influenced by athletes and rappers or whatever. And all of them are very up on their sneaker, like knowledge. But they all own basketball shoes. They all have either Kyrie's or they love Kyrie. Like they all have Kyrie's or Curry's. There's some LeBrons in there, but I think those kids are influenced heavily by what people are wearing. That's on court though. You know what I mean? They wear those on court. They play in those. In my world right now, and what I see on social media, it seems like there is not much influence that the NBA players have on us, the consumer, call it my age group, in what we do. Like online, it seems like even like say like a Yeezy, Kanye, like that's, you know what I mean? That he has so much influence and people want to wear what Kanye wears as far as sneakers go, not what Steph Curry wears. And I guess this is the casual wear, like if you're going to go buy a pair of basketball shoes and play casual, like I think for the most part, you're going to find the best shoe that fits to you. You know what I mean? There's so many basketball shoes out. I'm not going to be like, oh, I need a pair of LeBrons and play in LeBrons because I like LeBron. So I think and I just think basketball sneakers casually has kind of died as a trend a little bit.
Yeah, that's what happened.
I was rocking them heavily. I like would only rock like LeBrons and Jordans, 4 or 5 years ago. I had tons of LeBrons, Kobe's, KD's. That was kind of the style. A lot of people were wearing them casually. And then it died. And trends come and go. And in the sneaker industry, it's crazy. I mean, there was a time when you held a gun to my head and said, will Jordans ever sit on shelves, run retros sit on shelves and be heavily discounted? I'd say no. And now that's where we're at, and Ultra Boost has now taken over, and Adidas has come swinging in. So it's wild how much the trends change over a short amount of time. It's been a lot of, even retro runners came, like Ronnie Feig and his collabs, collabs were a huge thing. Now those have kind of tapered off, and it's just crazy, all the changes. It's fun to keep up with. You know what I mean? It's fun to watch. Sometimes you just kind of have to like watch from afar and be like, wow, like, but who holds the actual influence? It's kind of hard to tell sometimes.
Right.
I honestly think it's the entertainers. Like Yeezys, they sell out. Pharrell's shoes sell out. Even I don't know if you guys know John Geiger. His shoe, he came out with a $500 shoe himself, and those sold out. Those
are $500.
Yeah, $500 out the gate.
Yes, Lavar Ball, Jesus.
Yeah,
I think those are actually customs though. I think he actually either hand makes them or has.
Yeah, he had them handmade. Like, well, he not him himself, but he had them factory made. He made the model and everything. But even when he did those, misplaced check marks, those were $500 too, and that was a custom between him and Shoe Surgeon. Yep. So it was just, I think it's more the entertainers or the social media influencers that have the most influence, at least as far as like sneaker heads go. If you're playing basketball, you're going to go and get the basketball sneakers, but just wearing them casually, like almost all basketball sneakers besides Jordan, they sit, you know what I mean?
Yep.
I think entertainers are really holding the flame.
I agree. And I think the thing is, the entertainers are kind of flocking to brands where they have more creative liberties. You know what I mean? Like Kanye went to Adidas, not only because of the money, but also because of just the fact that he claims that he has more creative liberty. And I think what we're getting from Adidas is more fashion forward and honestly, for me, more interesting than what we're getting from Jordan or from Nike. Because if you look at the Air Yeezy 2s, while it was a dope shoe, if it was not hyped, I don't know if I would grab it because it looks, like all the other basketball shoes on the market.
Yeah. I do think what's funny is, and once again, this is all within the social media world, because it's easy to say like, oh, that shoe didn't sell well, when it's like you don't know the actual numbers. There are plenty of shoes that people buy that you don't even realize is selling like crazy. But with
Air Monarchs,
right, exactly, like shoes like that, which are just like But within our little bubble, I'll call it, the crap, where's I going? Within our bubble, I think I find it so interesting watching the trends and kind of who sets them, and just follow. I think the sneaker blogs do play a big part, and then who they kind of work with as well. Obviously the Adidas and Jordans have their shoes, then they have to release the information, and the way it trickles down, and it's just funny to watch how certain shoes can like start off not hyped, and then like a certain person or people start wearing them, and then it'll kind of snowball, and people are like, oh, yo, I kind of like those now. And sometimes that has to happen. It's easy to look at a new shoe or like a new colorway and not love it at first because your mind's not used to it.
Yep.
It's happening with plenty of shoes that first look that they look weird or not what you're used to.
Didn't the Ultra Boost sit when they first came out? Until Kanye wore the white pair, I think, or something, right?
Yeah, the Ultra Boost, like when the ones with the purple heel cup, like I'm still convinced like the boom of that was because Kanye wore them. I remember.
That's how I feel, 100%.
Yeah, it was around like All-Star Weekend, and I think, and what's funny is they were out, before he wore them, but it was then like people started seeing that he was wearing them, like, ooh, I'm gonna grab those, and now those are like the ones with the purple heel cage are like some of the most sought after Ultra Boosts because they were the first ones,
Yeah.
I mean, for example, you've got the
like a pair.
Yeah, right. Tell me about it.
I got mine for 50% off.
You're kidding.
Oh my God, you
criminal,
man.
Yeah, no, he got him at the employee store for 50% off, and he was there, and I had texted him, and he grabbed me a pair.
That's crazy.
Yeah,
that's awesome. I mean, for example, you could see it with the friends and family, or what used to be the friends and family, the cream Ultra Boosts. Like they were a dope colorway, and they were hyped just because it was Kanye's friends and family pair. I don't think that same pair would have been as hyped if it wasn't for him. You know what I mean? And I think that's true for any colorway that has a personality backing it.
Even what's his name? Jerry Lorenzo. He what shoe was it? It was like some Adidas Y3. I heard they was on clearance at first or something, right? Do you guys know what shoe I'm talking about? The Y3 Boost. I don't know the name of it. Maybe the guys know what you're talking about. You know what shoes I'm talking about? Yeah. They're like white and black.
Yeah.
Yeah, and I heard they was like on clearance and stuff, and then he took an Instagram picture with them, and all of a sudden it was reselling for like $800.
Well, dude, how about like the checkered Vans, the checkered Authentic?
Oh yeah, oh my God.
I mean, the Golden Coast Authentics, those like took on a life of their own. Like, and what's kind of bizarre is like if you see a trend happening fast, like act on it fast. For instance, like as those started to get, like I saw the buzz happening, and I was like, "Ooh, I like the checker. I like, the checkerboard pattern. Like I'm not a big like slip-on guy because you can get the band slip-on, but the Authentic is awesome. And either way, I found a pair on eBay for $25, and I grabbed them right then and there. Now those are reselling on eBay still for over $100.
Yeah, I got my pair for $45.
Right. Remember, we were both on the Hunter on the same time.
Yeah, I remember that.
Yeah, and it's just crazy. It happens with a lot of shoes, and I do think some of these people like Ronnie Feig and a few other guys do carry a lot of power when they wear something.
For sure.
They do have the ability to make something look cool.
For sure. I think it's also interesting too. I would almost go as far as to say that although it seems as though anything that Kanye wears would be, an instant sellout. For example, you've got the Yeezy Boots, which he wore a lot, and they're his own brand. They're a pair of Yeezys. They're literally Yeezys, and yet they sit. I think it has something to do with the price point, but I also think that there's just some stuff that even Kanye can't push.
Right, I agree. Yeah, because I would have thought those boots would have sold out instantly just because.
I bought 2 pairs or 3 pairs when they first dropped, just because I was like, I can resell these, I can make a ton of money. I don't know why they're sitting right now, and then of course I was stuck with them. So
what was the price point of those?
They're expensive, like $5, right?
They were like, I bought them from End, so I think they were like slightly cheaper, but the shipping, brought it back up. So I think I paid like $600 for each pair or something like that. And then I tried to return them, but they wouldn't let me. So I had to just drop. I was able to sell 1 for retail, and then the other 2 I had to sell for like $100 under retail. So.
Yeah, that's all right. That's a live and learn type thing,
It's what happens,
sometimes.
But
I'm an atrocious reseller myself. That business is just not for me, man. I'm like, oh, you know what? Those are gonna be hot. Let me buy those, and I just end up losing like $150 per pair or something.
Well, that's the thing. It's hard to predict resale because a lot of shoes, like sometimes people don't know how many there are, and then all of a sudden there'll be a quick sellout, and people are like, "Oh crap, those were limited."
Yeah,
and right off the bat, resale goes up because now people who really wanted them are trying to get them and they can't get them anywhere, so they will have to pay resale.
Yep. I mean, that's something that we sort of saw with the NMDs originally. Like when they first dropped, the very first OG pair, when they first dropped, people bought them, but it didn't. No one thought it was going to be as hyped as it was. And then I saw them on eBay for like $200 or $300. And then within that first month that they were out, they went up to like 400 and then 600. And then for that first year before they re-released, they were up in the thousands, which I mean is crazy because now you can buy a pair for like $200, $300.
Right. I would have never known you can't even predict that. You know what I mean?
There's no way. Yeah.
Actually, let me tell you guys a quick little story. So the day the Fog Vans Authentics came out, I waited in line for like 4 hours or something, but I didn't get them. And so that same day, I ended up meeting up with Eddie Wynn, and somebody offered them to me for $300. And I was like, dude, should I buy them? And he was like, nah, they're Vans, don't get them. And I was like, all right, yeah, you're right. Now they're going for like $900, dude, $700 to $900, which
it's insane.
I don't think I've ever seen Vans that expensive in my life.
That's nuts.
Yeah, that's crazy. It really is. I mean, and that's a prime example of, it's a $50 shoe that's now selling for so much because of the hype, which is crazy to me. But that's the sneaker game.
Speaking of crazy, Yoanty, I actually have a question for you.
Here.
What is the craziest thing you've ever done as far as sneakers and or apparel goes?
Is this a setup for my house tour?
I'm just very curious. The question that I have.
I would also like to know. That's something I'm very interested to know.
If you have any stories for us.
First, I'm going to try to think if I have any crazy. I definitely probably have some crazy sneaker stories. I have to think of some, but just from I'm trying to think. Well, all right. So with the hat story, right? So me and OT Dub were having a conversation, and I was telling him how I'm the king of returning stuff. I'm a very maybe an impulse buyer, but I can never decide on stuff. I'll buy something and then like a month later I won't like it, or I'm just like, hey, why'd I buy that? And I'm always determined to I'm going to return it. You know what I mean? I want my money back. So, I mean, I had a photo hanging on my wall for 6 months, and I decided I didn't want it anymore. I grabbed it off the wall and just drove back to Target and go, here, I don't want this anymore, and got my money. You know what I mean? So I keep receipts to everything, because I just know in my head, I'm like, I'm not going to like this in 4 months. But so I'm really picky about hats and the way hats fit. I have a really small head. So when it comes to hats, I need the perfect fit. So and I'm an expert when it comes to I could look at a hat and just like that, I know for a fact it will or won't fit me. I can just tell by the dimensions. And
that's impressive.
Yeah. So, I have a crazy fitted hat collection. I have New Era on field. I have so many fitteds. Actually, I'm in a dad hat phase, so I'll break the fitteds back out soon.
Yeah, I'm rocking the Vans hat too.
Oh, I like that. Solid hat. Oh, man, I never see it forward though.
It doesn't look good on me forward. I can't rock the dad.
So New Era has switched up their hats. Wow, man, hat club. I like it.
Thank you. I was gonna say, when's the Vans guy gonna get a Vans hat on?
So New Era has gone through a bunch of different phases where they changed the material in their hats, and their old hats used to be 100% wool. Mm-hmm. And wool shrinks like that. So what I used to do with these hats is I'd put them on my head, and then you just you put them under the sink in warm water, you douse it in water, and then you put it on your head while it's soaking, and you just let it form your head. And as it dries, it once it's dry, it fits your head perfectly.
Right.
So New Era switched up the way they made their hats. They went from wool to polyester, and polyester doesn't shrink. So because they lasted longer on field. The wool ones were like crappy. They fall apart after a while, get all dirty. The polyester ones last like a really long time. However, they always felt like a little boxy. You know, when you put a hat on, it's just boxy on the front. It was too boxy, and I was like, I got to figure out a way to get this to form and fit my head like the other one. So I read somewhere, I Googled it. They said that polyester shrinks in the oven. So I wet the hat, I put it on a baking sheet, and I baked my hat at 350 degrees. And like people are like literally like a fucking crazy person. Like if anyone ever like, I can't believe I'm telling this story. People think I'm insane, but that's how like picky I am with hats, you know. So I baked
a hat,
and it still doesn't fit the way I want it. I'm like, this is still just like not the right way. So
Was it crispy?
It's a little too crispy. And so I put the stickers that come on the front of the fitteds, like the normal sticker. I just peel the sticker back on, put the sticker on the inside. I put it in the bag. I brought it back to Lids and just told them I didn't want the hat anymore, and they took it back. So a hat that was baked in the oven.
A fried snapback.
Yeah, did it have a smell at all? Like, did it smell like last night's dinner?
It smelled. It kind of smelled good. It smelled like fresh clothes. Like filthy clothes.
That story kills me, man.
I can't believe I didn't burn my house down. Fire department comes. What were you cooking? Wear a hat. Headwear.
That story kills me, man. I can't believe anybody would do that.
I heard you guys mentioning it like throughout the week, and I was like, "What's this story?" And now that I finally heard it, it was worth the wait.
It's definitely the greatest story I've ever heard. Top 10 stories.
Like I said, I'm very athletic in weird things like returning items. You know what I mean? Like when it's things like that, like I want to be the king of certain things. I pick and choose what I want to be like the best at. I like to be a connoisseur in weird things. Yeah. Skateboarding is not yet one of them.
Well, keep at it though. You'll get there. I see you're getting the stance down a little bit.
Oh man.
All right, maybe we should move on to the next segment called "What Do You Think About?" where we bring up 3 sneakers and we'll ask what everybody thinks about them and get their opinion on them. And the first one is the Jordan 1 and Off-White collab. Have you all you guys seen it?
I have, yeah. Have you seen it?
What is it? Which one?
It's a Jordan 1. It's a collaboration. You know the brand, the clothing brand Off-White, right?
Yeah, I think I saw it. Does it have stripes on it? Or no?
It's a Chicago. Well, it's a Chicago. Kind of like they look like dumpster version of Chicago's, if you ask me. But
wait, it doesn't have writing on it, does it? Wait,
yeah,
they're like take-on solution shit.
Yeah.
Let me pull up the picture.
Whoa. I think I saw like pictures of these, but didn't realize that they're legit releasing, huh?
Yeah. Unfortunately,
this is the sneaker right here.
Yeah, they
pair, if you ask me, man.
When I first saw them, I was like, you know what? I think it's cool that they're trying something different. And then the more I looked at them, the more I was like, this is not the right way to go, guys.
To me, it's just like it's a little pretentious. You know what I mean? It's like, I don't know. It's to me, that's like trying too hard. Like to be like, hey, like it's like, look how fucking like cool and weird we are. Let's fucking like chop up a Jordan 1 and make it. But people are gonna go bananas for this.
Obviously, right off the bat. I mean, to me,
people are gonna call that like a fucking work of art, and I just shit like that doesn't do it for me because it's trying too hard for me, and it's extremely pretentious, and I hate it.
I think the text, Yoanty clearly hates it. He does not like.
It set me off. I just like. That's one of those shoes I can look at just right off the bat, and I'm just like, all right, like they're like trying to be so fucking cool.
Yeah, man, like it's dumpster pair if you ask me. They're dumpster. Right. Like honestly, I like the text. I think the text is pretty cool. It's a nice little touch or whatever. But and I just see that they got an 85 under the tab, which nobody's hopefully will ever see, because otherwise then it'll be really dumpster if you got your tab flopping like that. But other than like the text on it, it's just like, bro, like. You are a very high tier brand. You guys could have put some more thought into what you was doing. Like you guys could have came up with some dope stuff, but
yeah.
with this dumpster pair, like it looks like that book you open up and it like the thing pops out at you. It's like that's what this sneaker reminds me of. Like it was just like
underrated books like that. Like I don't read, but I would read those books. Like if they made those for talking about, right? Like, yeah. Dude, how much? No. Like because I mean, like I said, I'm older, so I had the like lame ones where like just like it would just like open up like that. Then they start coming out with the ones like you open up and like a fucking castle emerges and it's like all crazy. Like
wait, really? I haven't seen that.
You haven't seen that?
Oh yeah.
No.
Right?
I still only see like the little small one with a little bit of picture.
No. Now they have you open it up and it's just like a whole world. Yeah.
It's pretty. Go to a mall in like the Midwest where people don't have anything better to do, and you'll find them.
What do you think of them, Fowler?
What do I think of the Off-Whites?
Yeah.
Like I said, like it was one of those things that it was so different. I was interested at first, and then the more I look at them, the more I'm like, but I mean, honestly, if I have a chance to grab them, I may just go for it and then return them if I don't like them. Because it's one of those things that like whenever something new comes out, like I did this with like tech too. Whenever like the new phone comes out or the new whatever comes out, I always, I want to have it and I want to try it, not because it's something that I see myself wearing a lot, but something I'm really interested in, which I know is not the best way to go about a lot of things. But I just have this like weird curiosity with new stuff. So,
I mean, honestly, that's how you educate yourself in sneakers is buying shoes that you don't even like or care about, but you want to know. I mean, too often, and I'm probably guilty of it too, is like people look at shoes online and like, oh, that's trash, or they don't give shoes a try. And there are plenty of shoes I've gotten. Even I just got a pair of those Puma Sugi Shinsei, and normally I'd be like, I don't know. And I got them in hand. They're really nice, warm, and it's a good shoe. So I think that's honestly a lot of what Nightwing does. He buys shoes all the time, and he performs and plays in them, so he knows what the hell he's talking about. Not that he likes a shoe or wants it, because he wants to educate himself, and he's extremely educated on the tech side of sneakers, which is important. You know what I mean? So you know what you're talking about.
Yep.
Wow. Yeah, you don't feel like bad or guilty for buying a pair of shoes and returning it. You know what I mean, or selling them, because that's you've got your own channel and you're educating yourself and other people on it. So
I may or may not throw it in the oven depending on if it fits. We'll see. See what happens.
That's the new thing, man. Down, If you can't get your size, go half size up and throw it in the oven, man. That's all right, let's get to the next sneaker. The next one is the Adidas 9317 EQT, the coat of arms, the pack. Have you guys seen that one?
Is that the one that has like? Is it like an almost like a knit pattern?
Yeah, like it looks like it might be like woolish or something, but yeah, it's like navy blue knit and like red and white.
Let me see if I make sure I've seen those. Yes, I have. Yeah, those are sick.
Yeah, I love them. Love them.
Like the model is awesome, really comfortable.
Have you tried the boost version of it?
Yes. Yep, I have those. The amount of boost on there is insane.
It
really is.
It's like that much boost.
Yeah, you got that fat nug in the back of it.
Yeah.
But
no, I think I like it a lot. You know what I mean? It looks appealing to me. It's nice looking.
Yeah, I love them. Actually, like the way what's the other ones called? Where it's like it's not boost, it's a pack. They're the gray, white, or it's not white. Yeah, gray, black with the black stripes.
Is it just a normal EQT?
It's part of the coat of arms pack. Yeah, so it's the EQ39. Oh, it's just called the EQT.
Yeah, it's like an EQT something. I mean, it's because the first the numbers. The first is like the first date that shoe came out, and then the second number, the 17, is like that particular year or version of it. So the 9317, that shoe first came out in 93, and now it's coming back out in 17.
Oh, right. That's dope.
Yeah. Definitely.
So the other shoe in that 93 or the coat of arms pack, I like that too. Like that's a sick colorway too. It's gray, black.
Yeah, they're both really nice.
Yeah, like I really like both of them. I like the 93 up until because I recently just opened my first pair of 3.0 Ultra Boosts.
Took you long enough, man.
Yeah, I know, man. Ooh. I know. I was sleeping for a long time. But up until then, like the 93 17s were my favorite of all time, like the most comfortable shoe I ever wore. Now it's like a super battle between those two. I don't know which one I would call more comfortable.
Right. Well, Yoanty, actually, I wanted to ask you this. What would you say is the most comfortable pair of shoes in your collection, and just out of everything?
Ooh,
that's a good question. I mean, it's hard. It's because like obviously right now everyone's gonna say Ultra Boost is most comfortable. And actually, what's funny is in a video today, I posted it today. I said I wanted to make a whole video about the word comfortable and comfort because we all say it like, oh, these are so comfortable, or you know what I mean. I've said about every shoe I've owned basically, you know. And it's like, what is comfort? Like, yeah, like you know, and everyone's feel is different. Everyone's foot is different. Yeah. So there are plenty of people who put on the Ultra Boost and it's just too snug for them. They don't get full comfort out of it. You know, like I have plenty of Jordan 1s that I think are really comfortable that other people wouldn't. Like, I don't know, like for some reason my Shadow 1s, something about them is so freaking comfortable. You know, I don't know if it's the leather, the way I break them in, the way they fit my foot, but like specifically my Shadow 1s, like opposed to any other Jordan 1, just something about them is so comfortable. But obviously I'm on like a big like boost, you know what I mean, boost kick right now where it's just it's hard to compete with it. I have a lot of
unfair.
Yeah, I have like 5 pairs of Alpha Bounce. I really like the Alpha Bounce.
I love those.
The comfort's there, and honestly, it's not as snug on my foot as the Ultra Boost is, which I kind of like sometimes. So yeah, it's hard to really compete with the Boost stuff right now. But like I said, I have plenty of Sauconys. Like just grabbing these, like even like something like a Grid 9000 is a really comfortable shoe. So I guess it all just depends. Believe it or not, I have a few pairs of Under Armour sneakers that are wicked comfortable. Their whole upper is like a Threadborne or like it's that stretchy material where like, you know, it's the sock like feel. They're just really comfortable. So it's so hard to really like say, you know, what shoe is the most comfortable. There are plenty, you know, everyone has their own feel and fit and opinion. But I do find myself wearing a lot of sneakers. Like I think it's just like funny how that happened where like everyone's all about comfort now.
Yeah, which is interesting.
4 or 5 years ago, people wearing LeBrons out.
Yep.
Those are LeBron 9s and 8s, and they weren't that comfortable. There was a ton of air and cushion in them, but like you wear a basketball shoe for like 10 hours in the day.
Right.
I don't know. I'm gonna want to take those off.
I found out the hard way. I had a pair of 8s on that I took out for the night, and it was just after a while, man, my feet were like, bruh, give me some time. I need space. Yeah. But still, even though like I get Ultra Boosts are Omega comfortable and everything, but I still only use those. I only wear Ultra Boosts when like, I don't know, if I'm like hanging out with like some friends real quick, we're just lollygagging around. But if I go out and I feel like I want to like flex or something like that, I bust out a pair of J's because like I think we're still, even though in like the sneaker world and sneaker culture and everything like that, Ultra Boost and Adidas as a whole is like pretty much on the takeover. But like the world as a whole, they still know Nike. So if even somebody that's not in the sneakers, if I was to go out in some Jordans, they'd be like, oh, that dude's wearing some Jordans or whatever. Exactly. If I was wearing some like Adidas, they'll be like, I don't know what those are, but nice shoes, I guess, or something. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Yeah, I would say that, I mean, say you're going to a nice club in Manhattan, right? Like you couldn't rock a pair of Ultra Boosts, but you could probably rock a pair of Space Jams. You know what I mean? Because they go with everything. You can wear them casually. You can wear them literally on the basketball court. And the same day you can take them to the club. You know, they go with everything. And I think Adidas is great for more of a casual look. And I think in the case of Yeezys, because everyone knows that they're like $1,000 shoe and people know that what they are, I think you can get away with Yeezys. But on the same coin, you know, even though the Ultra Boost is a very similar shoe, you just can't rock it in the same way.
Yeah. Want to know what's funny with Yeezys? They've become so popular that like I don't look at Yeezys and think they're cool. Or people that wear them are not cool because there are a lot of people that are wearing them that don't even really know what they are, or really know history or sneakers. They're not in the sneaker game. They just know that Yeezys are what's popular. Like I see a lot of fitness guys. I don't even follow that many fitness channels, but like on my popular page on Instagram, like they'll pop up or something, and they all have this same look. Like these, like they have like the Yeezys, no socks, these really tight jeans, kind of ripped, like a long tee, mainly how I dress, but either way. but they just have this, it's so like, I don't know, poser. You know what I mean? It's like so poser that I'm like, I know for a fact, like you just know that Yeezys are cool. Like you don't own any other like shoes. You know, you just know that this is, this here is the look. So whenever I see the Yeezy, it's like it kind of sticks out. I actually do think it's a great shoe. You know what I mean? It's comfortable. I love the upper. The suede on it's nice. The boost is nice. Like it really is a good shoe. And you got to be honest too. Everyone does love that little bit of hype, that little bit of limitedness. But to me, they don't even seem limited anymore. You know what I mean? It's like everyone has them.
Yep.
I was able to get a pair, and I unfortunately found out that I don't even like Yeezys, dude. Like, it really broke my heart, man.
It was this pair.
At least you're honest about it. At least you.
I was 100% honest. Like, I was so excited to get them, and I opened up the box. I looked at them. I was like, no, I can't do this. Yes, that pair, Seth, you jerk.
Can I just say though, the one thing I really dig this pair, and I kind of have a vendetta against white shoes because in New York and in any city, I'm sure in Boston's the same way. You can't step outside without your shoes getting a little beat up.
Yeah.
But the thing with this pair is that the way they did the V2s, the way that the outsole wraps up onto the midsole, it's like since it's a different color and sort of a yellowish color, you get this really weird. I don't know if you guys can see that with all the lights, but you get this really crappy, like almost like spoiled milk look, which kind of bums me out. And that's one thing I still love the shoe, but that just really was like, come on, guys.
Yeah, I know what you mean.
Yeah. What's both of your favorite? Just really, this is a question just for all the Yeezy hypebeasts out there. If you guys could only have one pair of Yeezys, which one would it be out of everything? Nike, Louis Vuitton, whatever.
Yeah, I'll take the.
Did he drop off?
I think he's back. I think we had a little bit of a.
Am I here?
Yep, you're back.
Was I gone?
Did you ask?
Little static.
Oh, my bad. But yeah, I think it'd probably be the tan ones. What are they called? The Yeezy Ones, I think they were too. Hold on.
Yeezy One Tans. Yeah.
That's what they call it, right? Yeah, the Yeezy One Tans. Yes. It'd either be those or pure platinum 2s, but I'd probably go Yeezy One Tans because those. Yeah.
Honestly, mine would probably be the Yeezy 2, the pure platinums. I just love that shoe. I always have. Like I remember on release day, they were supposed to drop in a random time. It was about June, and I was watching the Celtics Heat. I believe it was Celtics Heat game, and I remember like all day, I was like checking all day, and the game got really good. It was like a close game, and I like took my eye off my phone for like 30 minutes. And I went back on, they dropped, and I was like, I know for a fact I would have gotten them if I had, because it was at a time where if you were quick to something, you got it.
Right.
It's just how it worked. I had bought so many shoes, no bots, no nothing. There was this guy, King of Kicks 805. He used to be on the live chats, and he was taught me a lot of different tricks on how to just like get the link burst, get checked out as fast as possible. And I got really good at it on a lot of releases, and I had it like queued up. I just know I was supposed to have those, so it killed me that I didn't. Same thing with the Red October. Sunday afternoon, I was on my computer. I had Twitter open, so I would have saw a link like that. Closed my computer, walk out the door. 15 minutes later, I look at my phone, and just chaos ensues. So, something about the Yeezy 2. I think it's a really cool design. It's unique. But I've never even tried them on, so I don't even know what the comfort's like.
Yeah.
I know that the 350 boosts, are awesome. I love like my Moon Rocks. Those are awesome, but I got to say Yeezy 2.
Yeah. Yeah.
What about you?
You know what? This is going to be kind of a lame answer, but I'm going to say the Turtle Doves because there's something about them. As much as I love the hype behind the Yeezy 2s. I do like the way that they look. And I think I prefer the Yeezy Ones to the Yeezy 2s visually. The Turtle Doves, I've always loved that sort of more like rugged, like kind of almost like tattered look. And there's something about that shoe, that the Turtle Doves, that everything just sort of works together really well, in my opinion. And it's a shoe that it really had to grow on me because it was the first 350s that I had seen, and I didn't like them at first, but the more I looked at them and the more when I saw them in person at SneakerCon, I was just kind of blown away. I'm like, they're comfortable and they look great, and I'd say a close second is probably the Yeezy One Tans. Definitely.
I kind of agree. I love the turtle doves. Like even just like the red lines, the pull tab. It really is. I like them a lot. And once again, people are like, oh, because it's the most limited or whatever. No. That's just like that pattern, like that. It's a little bit loud, but still from far away, it's not. It's just a cool shoe.
For sure.
Yeah.
For sure.
All right, let's get to the last sneaker for the what do you think about, and that is the Jordan 1 Bred Flyknit. Have you guys seen this sneaker?
Yes.
All right, first of all, I want to know, because shame on me, I didn't do any research on it. Is it actually real? Like, is this a thing?
They're coming out, right?
I think so, yeah. I've seen a lot about it. Yeah.
What do you guys think about it? What do you think about it, Yoanty?
What's funny is, like, if I had heard Jordan 1 Flyknit, first, like if I just heard they're going to do it, I would have been like, ooh, I actually might like that. Hold on. I've got a pair of, this is just like a quick little, so this is the Air Max 1 Flyknit, which I love. This is my favorite shoe of last year. It's awesome because it's the Ultra 2.0, wicked lightweight, wicked comfortable. And then I love Flyknit material.
Right.
It's awesome. So I thought this was awesome because they took a OG one. You've got, this is just an OG one. It's, things almost like a brick, still classic, and they made it cool and current. Shout out to me, Rook, for having these on hand just like that.
Right.
and then you've got the Jordan 1, which my thought in my brain of what it would be was going to be totally different. I saw the photo of the Flyknit 1. It's too bad we don't have images for the viewers to see, but
I know, yeah.
I'll teach you guys some tips.
Thanks, buddy. Yeah.
I was like, oh no, it didn't look right.
Right.
I felt like they could have done it better, and to me, maybe the one's just too hard to do a Flyknit. It just didn't look completely right to me. What do you guys think?
To me, it looks like a model or something, like kind of like they made a cake. You know what I mean? Like it doesn't look like an actual sneaker. Like it just looks really silly and funny to me. I don't know. It's just something about it just looks really weird, and it doesn't look all too wearable. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
I'm not into it at all. Not my thing.
For me, it's the same way that I felt about the Satin ones when they first dropped. It's a similar story to your Nike Air Yeezy story, where I had the opportunity to grab them. Like I worked pretty close to where they dropped in New York, and there was this line for them. And I was like, I thought it was going to be just a regular Bred drop, and I already had a couple pairs. I didn't need them. Not realizing it was a Satin. And later I went back and someone was holding them, and I looked at them and I'm like, these look like those friggin' satin, just like the faux satin or suede Jordans that drop all the time. And there was nothing about them that really got me interested. And I think for me, the reason I really like Jordan brand is because I like the history behind it. And yes, I mean, the Bred one and the Royal one are beautiful shoes, but I think it's the main reason is because it's a Jordan, and it's a classic. So I think remastering it or doing it in this way is interesting. But whether they sell out or not, I have no idea, just because I don't know. I mean, I see what they're doing. They're trying a new technology that probably wouldn't sell out if it was done in a non-hype colorway, but they're using like the most hyped Jordan 1 colorway. So I'm really interested to see what happens with them.
In the it's tough. It's so crazy how like Nike's just taking like all their old models and then just like tinkering with them. It's like almost like, I think a lot of people feel this way, especially like some older guys, like where is like the creation, or like how do you get it? And then again, it's hard currently in the sneaker industry to get a brand new model to get legs, to get popular. It's not easy, and Under Armour's struggling right now trying to push the Currys, and it's not easy. And that's why the Ultra Boost is like, I think it's so cool. And I'm happy that happened, that a brand new model that someone designed got really popular and took off, It's not easy.
All the other new models that they're coming up, well, they're new to me at least. I know a lot of these, like the EQTs are like, I guess, retros technically, but the other models that they're coming out with are killing it too, which is Adidas is just doing really, really extremely well right now.
Oh yeah, killing it.
Yeah, for sure. For sure. Well, we've got one or two more topics, but before we get into those, I just want to let everyone know in the live chat we will be taking questions. So if you guys want to start asking questions for Yoanty or whatever you guys want to ask, drop them in the comments and we'll get to them in a couple minutes for sure. Definitely.
Cool.
And I think, Keon, did you already cover this? Do you have, I mean, other than the hat story, are there any other sort of like crazy stories you've got, like waiting in line for shoes or anything insane that's happened to you besides baking your fitted?
I feel like I've had like pretty good like luck with like any type of sneaker events or waiting in line and things like that. I'm trying to think of like some like success stories I've had. So here's another one. The Royal One. This was back when they first dropped. It was in February of 2013, I think. And the Jordan 1 hype then wasn't that crazy. Like Jordan 1s have taken on a new life of their own somehow. Yeah. I mean, it's a great model. It's classic, but like no one was like going at. Well, they started to introduce the Nike Air on the tongue and the Nike Air branding, and overall just were made better. They didn't have the Jumpman on the tongue or the Jumpman on the back. They went back to the original form. And I remember, I think the Chicago ones came out previously, and they weren't
2013 pair.
Yeah. Right. Did they have the Jumpman on the tongue though?
Oh, it did. Did it? I think it had a Jumpman on the back. I don't remember if it had one on the tongue.
Okay, but I remember like they sat like nothing crazy, and when these came out, I thought for sure it would be an easy comp. I was like, oh, I'm gonna be able to get these, no question. I had my guy TMCII. He lives in New Orleans. He's like, oh, huh?
He's in the chat too.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
Well, then he'll love that I'm telling this story because I was texting him, and he's like, I can hold you down. I can get you a pair. And I'm like, no, like I usually don't like to ask for sneaker favors. I very rarely do. Mm-hmm. Like I hate to I like the satisfaction of buying my own pair of sneakers.
Right.
Like I like that chase of like, I gotta get them online. I just didn't think it would be madness. I was like, oh, I'll be able to get them online. No big deal. And I think for the most part, a lot of people felt that way, or that there'd be a good amount of pairs, and they were gone in a second. And I was like, oh my God. Like I turned down a pair for retail and they were selling for 400, 450. Somewhere down the line, it was actually an overseas viewer. He ended up selling me a pair. I think I paid a little over retail. I want to say I paid like maybe like $220 or $250 for these, which I'm whatever. Like I'm fine with.
Yeah, it's not bad.
But now I got the new ones, and it's just a great shoe, easy to wear. So yeah, I turned these down for retail when they first released. But nowadays it doesn't even matter. You miss out on a shoe, just wait 4 years. Jordan Brand will roll back out.
Yeah, definitely.
Wait for those red lemons.
Yeah. Any questions in the comments?
Yeah, so Sergio Flores wants to know, what's the difference in the sneaker game from now and then, like when we were teens? I can say for me, back then, it wasn't as crazy hype. Like you can literally go and just walk into a store and the sneakers that you wanted would be on the shelf. Like there wasn't like lines going out the back of all around the corner of the street or none of that. Like it was just, yo, those are dope. I want to go and pick those up. And that's what you did. You just went and picked them up. And it was that.
I remember when the 2009 Space Jams dropped, a friend of mine just walked into the Foot Locker and grabbed 2 pairs. First of all, there wasn't a limit in how many pairs you could buy, and there was no line. They were just sitting, Yeah. It was crazy. It really was.
Yeah, like for me, like thinking back to high school, we were big into like basketball sneakers and what, Garnett was wearing or Iverson was wearing. But for us, it was all about basketball shoes and wearing what the players wore, because that we were kids then, and we beat the hell out of our shoes, and that's what I notice now. These kids, they have like a pair of Kyries, they wear those 24/7. These shoes are beat, but they're getting actual like use out of them, they're wearing them for the right reasons. Like trying to baby a pair of basketball shoes is like the most insane thing ever. You know what I mean? Like if you wear a pair of basketball shoes, just fucking wear them and enjoy them and play in them. Don't like try to. That's what I find so funny. Like when I like would wear LeBrons, like, I don't want to get like my big bangs dirty. It's like it's still technically a basketball shoe. Yep. You know what I mean?
Dude, I remember when the "Give Me Two Pairs" Air Force song came out.
Yeah.
My oh snap! Wolfgang wanted to be in the show. My buddy actually paid me to skip school and reserve the new Pokemon game for him. So I did that, and I went and bought me a pair of Air Forces and a pack of socks just so I can cut them in half and stick them in the toe so my Air Forces wouldn't crease.
Yeah.
Oh my goodness.
I remember when that song was out, I remember thinking like, I wonder if there'll ever be a day where I'll be rich enough to afford 2 pairs of the same sneaker. You know what I mean? Like as a kid, I'd be like, why would anyone ever own 2 pair? What's the reason? Why does he want to do this? Now it makes sense.
All right, let's see what other questions we have.
We got one from IMTCII with some retros sitting. Do you think Jordan and Nike need to lower their price from that $190 retail? And then he says, I would cop a few if they were like 150, 125. So how do you guys feel about that 190 price tag? Do you guys think that's one of the reasons that the shoes are sitting?
Absolutely.
Yeah, man. They used to be way cheaper, dude. Like, it's ridiculous.
What I found myself doing is I would impulse buy more when they were 160. So there are plenty of shoes that I would have bought, like those wool 3s. I just really like those. Yeah. If those retailed at 150, 160, I would have bought on release day. And I'm like, whatever. 190, that's easy for me to pass. Sure. I just have a hard time paying 190 for a Jordan Retro. Especially now if you just wait it out. Like those wool 3s, I found them for 120 in store. And even then I'm like, well, if they're going to go for 120, I'm going to wait to get them for like 80. Yeah. I'm also the king of like I'll nickel in when I know I can get a shoe for $5 cheaper. I'm waiting it out. You know, I don't care. I'll wait because it's like you spend so much money on shoes that whenever you can save a few bucks on a pair, why not? You know,
for sure.
Yeah, they gotta. It's almost like they're gonna have to put their tail between their legs if they have to lower their price point
down. Yeah, I know they're admitting defeat at that point, right?
I mean, it happened with LeBron's. LeBron's went down in price. Curry 3s are going down in price. So companies and brands, I think, will do it if that's what needs to be done.
Yeah, I agree. I think also, first of all, I struggle with what Nike's doing because I get that they're trying to just flood the market so that they can make money and cut out the resellers. I get that. But at the same time, it's just it kind of ruins it for me, to be honest. Like a lot of the sneaker game for me, besides the sneakers, of course, is that hunt. And when it's so easy to find something, it kind of makes it not as sweet when you can grab it. And that might be a hype beast thing to say. I don't know, but that's just one of my favorite things about just collecting in general, whether it's shoes or otherwise. It's the hunt that really gets me.
Yeah.
For sure. Let's grab another question. Julia Christina asks, if you had to give up one of your Grail shoes, which one would it be and why?
What? Nah. Nope. Sorry, Julia. Not happening.
Oh, by the way, guys, the cost of coming on this podcast is one of your Grail shoes. So you got that out of the way.
By the by, we forgot to mention. Awesome.
So the question was, what would you give up?
What Grail? Yeah. So like out of your top, Grail. Yeah.
See, can I just say that? Listen, it's not fair for me because like I really, really legitimately love Vans, and like most of my Grails are Vans, and it's like they're like once they're gone, you can't find Vans. Like they're just gone. You know what I mean? It's just they're so difficult to find again. So it's like, no, why?
I'm trying to
Go ahead, Yoanty. You first, man.
I'm trying to think.
Beth, you're quiet. You go first.
Well, okay. Here's my thing, right? So I love all my sneakers. I would even say equally. in some ways, because they all keep my feet, protected and safe from the elements. But I think if I had to give up one grail, so I guess, my thing is I don't have any sneakers that I would consider like a grail, you know what I mean? Like I would be okay if any of them, just if I had to get rid of them for whatever reason. Because I'm not as sentimental about, okay, no, I take that back. This is a pair that this, I guess, would be a grail because I have a sentimental, value for it. It's not worth a huge amount of money, but it means a lot to me. So in this case, I would keep this over, say, maybe my most expensive pair, which might be like, I guess, Yeezy 750s. I would give those up in a heartbeat if I had to, just because, they're Yeezys. They're not too special, but for a lot of people, they're grails. So that's probably what I'd give up.
Yeah, I don't think I have like you know what I mean, like a certain shoe. I don't know. It's like there's certain. Well, it's, once again, like even like I love my black cement threes. You know what I mean? I just love my black cement threes. I wouldn't want to give them up, but at the same time, it's like nowadays, once again, these are coming back out in like a year. Who really cares? So, yeah, I'm the same way. Where it's like I definitely, unless like I have like an item that was given to me by a family member or it holds value that way, I wouldn't want to lose that. But like if you purchase something and you're like, and you just purchase it, I try not to get too attached to material things. So it would have to be a specific, gift from a family member, a friend. That I think that's where the real value lies in sneakers and other items. So yeah, once again, I want to do another video separately on how I think like some of these kids are too in love with their sneakers. I find it's the younger kids, like,
yeah,
it's like bizarre to me. Like I don't know. It's just strange sometimes. I think maybe the older you get, the more you're like, oh, I actually don't really care about these shoes, or you don't worry if they get dirty. You care more about like human people around you, or it's like, I don't know. I think and once again, I think it's the immature young kids who, I don't know, they just don't know any better, which there's nothing wrong with that. We've all been there. You know what I mean? Trust me, I've gone through phases where I've loved material things more than I should. Then I realized, oh, who really gives a shit?
Actually, fun fact, I have not washed a pair of my ticks. Like,
you haven't washed them?
Never cleaned them. No, whatever dirt you see is dirt they earned.
Nice. That's good. No, seriously, that's like, I think that's the way it's supposed to be. Trust me, I've cleaned plenty of sneakers. I don't anymore. I'll clean a pair of sneakers if there's like a significant mark on them.
Yeah,
you know what I mean? Like my Ultra Boost and I feel like chocolate on them. Like, yeah, I'm cleaning that. But if it's just like normal dust or dirt from the bottom, it's like, it is what it is,
And if I was to give up a pair, it'd probably be my Vans and Concepts collab.
Why is that?
Skate highs. Why? I don't know. I don't want to give none of them up, but I don't know. I don't have a real reason. I just had to any, mini, miny, moe it in my head while Yoanty was talking. So those are the ones that I came up with.
Oh, we got Name Brand in the comments, and he's asking us, are we going to SneakerCon Chicago? Are you guys going?
Are you going, Name Brand? I'll go if Name Brand goes.
Dude, he's at every one, man. He'll be there for sure. How about you?
I'm still waiting for my invite in the mail. I think they misplaced it. I don't know.
Well, I said this to Keon last chat, and I'll say it to you. I got 4 tickets because I got a table, so you're more than welcome to come, man. I can't pay for the plane flight. I can't even pay for your hotel, but I paid for your $20 ticket.
Maybe if people send a few tweets to SneakerCon or
we did that last time. Yeah,
over there. I was at the first ever career YouTube basketball game, and then I've been shunned since. So
they need to get you in that. They need some players that can actually play basketball.
Maybe I can make a comeback. Come back in the 4-5. You never know.
Hey, everybody in the go on Twitter and at SneakerCon and tell them you want Yoanty and Fowler to go.
Game.
Yeah.
Is there a basketball game in Chicago this year?
There's one in Chicago, yeah.
Yeah, they're doing one.
Oh, come on. What? You guys need a point guard. Yoanty is the man.
What if I don't get invited and then I just show up in my original jersey from the first just like, hey guys, what's up?
All right.
Hey, I roll into my skateboard and my big hat And I'm like, hey guys, I'm here. They're like, no, you actually aren't invited. No one likes you.
Oh my god, that would be perfect, dude.
Oh, we got Franchise Kicks in the comments too. What's up, Franchise? He said, Franchise says we need name brand to fix those upcoming Jordan 1 Off-White joints. Good call.
They low key look like a name brand custom already.
Yeah, right.
You know what he should do is like the opposite of what he normally does. Normally he'd like do something crazy. He should try to put it back together.
Fix it.
Bring it back to its original format. Nice and clean. Looks like a normal one.
Yo, Brandon, you hear that? Put the shoe back together, man.
Yo, buy it and put it back together because it needs help.
Flip the script on him, just when they think you go left, you go right.
That's really good.
Oh my god, that was perfect.
Oh man, we'll see what other questions we got in here. If you had to wear one shoe for the rest of your life, what would it be and why?
For me, like I always just try to think of like one shoe that I could always wear. Like to me, I just like an Air Max 90. I just think that's like to me that's a classic pair of shoes. It's what I think I would look good at them at 18 years old or 40 years old. I just think it's a timeless shoe. Air Max 90, and that's I got no issue wearing that ever.
I think mine would probably either be the black or the red pair of Vans Authentics. I can just bust those out from now until I'm 80, 100 years old. Like they're always good, always wearable, and they go with everything. So yeah, that was easy.
Yeah, I think for me it'd probably be the Black Cement 3s, just because I feel like they're just subtle enough that you could dress them up or dress them down, and I mean they're comfortable. You have to have some level of comfort.
Yeah. Which is weird, because talking about comfort earlier and stuff. When I busted out the old schools, that was my first time. Like, it's my second pair of old schools, literally, and those are pretty comfortable on my feet. Like, I even wore them today. I liked them. They were fine. Like,
yeah. I love the old schools. I really do. Actually, honestly, like I've said in previous videos, Vans was the company that got me into sneakers in the first place. And I have a lot of respect for them and just all their shoes. I think. I have high arches, so they kind of give me trouble. Like when I used to work at the Vans store, I'd work like 8 or 9 hour shifts, and I'd be in Authentics, and I would have some problem with my arches. But other than that, I mean, it's this class. It's a super classic shoe. The story behind them is great. I love skate culture, and I think it's just, I mean, you can't go wrong with a pair of Vans. And at a price point of like $40 or $42 or whatever it was back when I was buying Vans, like you can't go wrong.
Yeah.
For sure.
So real quick, Miss 6206 says death of athletic influence. So I guess LeBron isn't influencing anything. What do you guys think? LeBron is still a major influence as far as sneaker culture goes?
I'll say this on court. Yes, I've never seen anyone walking around in a pair of LeBron 14s, and they're not a bad looking shoe.
Yeah. Like just specifically for like the basketball and basketball players, but there's nobody's wearing like basketball sneakers as a whole. Like when those what was it, the KD, I think, with the strap? What was the newest one? Because that model was dope. I think the first pair was like red, white, and blue. Then they came out like this all red globe pair. You guys know what I'm talking about?
The 86.
It has a strap on it, and it's the very first pair with like the red, white, and blue.
Oh, okay.
Global Games, was it? That one?
Global, yeah. Global Game.
Yeah,
that was the red pair, right?
Yeah.
Like I think that silhouette's dope. I like that. Like that's you can wear that casually.
Yeah.
But there's not a lot of basketball sneakers that you can just break out and just go flex.
What do you think, Yoanty?
The question was, does LeBron have any influence off the court or on the court?
It wasn't specific about whether on the court or off the court. They were just saying, is LeBron not an influence?
LeBron, to me, I don't know. I think LeBron, I think people are, I mean, I'm guilty of it too. I think LeBron off the court he gets himself into trouble sometimes of like trying to, well, not what I mean by that, like, personality wise, like trying to be too coy or too cool, too hip. Yeah, like
I know what you mean.
I honestly think he needs to be himself more because he doesn't. I think he's had this pressure on him since he's 18 years old of he needs to be this, he needs to do that. And at the end of the day, yeah, he's actually a great role model. He's never been in trouble. He's a dad. He's a husband, and he's really good at what he does. Like he's not a bad guy at all. Just he's done things in the past where it's like, oh, come on, LeBron. Like I was just liking you, Even the other night, like when he grabbed the beer and pretended to sip it, I was like, that's awesome. And then after he says he doesn't like beer. Oh, I'm not a beer guy. I'm a wine guy. I'm like, you motherfucker, I am a beer guy. I'm late on something and you ruined it. But I think people give him way too hard of a time. On the court, he's a fucking animal. He's a beast.
Phenomenal.
I think his influence, honestly, when he's winning, people want everything to do with him. Like last year, please, that parade when he's like this behind his own banner, LeBron is the man. There's nothing else you can say. So I think he does have a lot of influence. Unfortunately, it does kind of stink when he loses. People are like, yeah, time to get on LeBron and hit on his hairline, So people are very hot and cold with him. On the court, it's like, come on, just enjoy his greatness. Off the court, when he's a little cheesy, you know what I mean? Please, I'm a massive Tom Brady fan. And trust me, he does stuff off the field. I'm like, oh, come on, Tom. You look like a dork,
Speaking of that, hey, are you buying his weekly meal plan thing he got?
I'm waiting for that.
You gotta be like Tom.
Come on, you know that. You know my eating habits. Come on.
I heard about it on the radio. They said it literally you need to set away time even to put the meals together.
I don't have time.
We've got another question from Black X6. What has been the biggest shoe purchase you have ever made in your life? I'm assuming that's price wise.
I think for me, I'm trying to think including resale price. I'm trying to think. I think I paid. I bought LeBron 10 corks. Mm-hmm. I want to say $550 or $600. And that's in a time where I was just fully invested. I had no problem paying resale. I was just in the game. And, I was like, whatever, that's nothing. I was all about, I was buying some hype kicks, but I mean, now I couldn't bring myself to pay $600 for, a pair of shoes because I thought I needed them. I'm a retail or bust type of guy, or, I'll pay a little over retail depending what the shoe is. But the days of paying, $1,000, $1,200, that's just it's not worth it to me. I have so many shoes that I don't need to be paying that much. But I think it was LeBron 10 corks around $550, $600.
Nice.
First, I want to say shout out to White Letter. Thank you very much. Yeah, that was super dope. We'll get to your question next. But to answer your question, the most I've paid, I honestly don't spend a lot on sneakers. The most I've paid was $300, and it was for the OG NMDs.
You said it was 200?
300. I paid
300. Yeah, no, that's not even that bad.
No, that's the most I paid for a pair of kicks.
It's not bad.
What you said?
Yeah. So I've made some mistakes in my life. Up until recently, the most expensive pair I had bought was a pair of the Just On 2 beach colorways, and that was I bought them for $800 off some dude who hit me up on Twitter. And they were dope. It was the first or second shoe I ever reviewed on YouTube. That was a pretty sick pair, and they were awesome. I have nothing bad to say about them. The other pair that I got, and this was purely, and this is gonna sound like the biggest hypebeast thing to say in the world, but when I was coming up on YouTube, I wanted to get on Kais's crew kicks. So I saw that throughout crew kicks, everyone had a pair of Yeezys, and I didn't have a pair of Yeezys. So I straight up went to StockX. I bought a pair of the Pirate Black V2s, or not V2s, the Pirate Black 2016s for $1,000, and then but I got on the channel. I got on Crew Kicks, so it all worked out. That was my first subscriber bump.
Please, dude.
I ended up I wanted to wear them because that's after the Turtle Doves, that was my favorite friggin' pair of Yeezys, and I was so hype on them. The problem was 6 months into it, I hadn't worn them yet, and I was like, "Oh man, this is as soon as I take a step, I'm gonna lose $200."
Yeah.
So I was like, I have to be careful. And my girlfriend was giving me crap about it, and it got to a point where I was like, you know what? I gotta get rid of these. So I sold them for exactly what I paid for them, and so I mean, it worked out. But
that's fine.
Yeah. You just rented a pair of Yeezys, no big deal.
Exactly.
Nothing wrong with that.
rented some art. That's it.
Yeah. You actually made profit off them because you were able to, use them towards your content.
Exactly.
Oh, that's a very interesting way to look at it.
Yeah.
All right, the last question will be from White Letter. He wants to know, if you had to keep 5 pairs of shoes from your collection, which 5 shoes would you keep and why?
5 total shoes.
5 shoes out of your collection.
I know for me, it's tough. It's just you want to have a variation. You know what I mean? Like for me, if I'm going to have 5 sneakers total, I'm going to pair of gym shoes. You know what I mean? I've got a pair, I have a bunch of pairs of, Saucony running shoes. So boom, need a gym shoe. Like I said, the Air Max 90. Pair of Jordans. I'll probably go, a pair of Jordan. That's tough. Probably pair of Jordan 1s.
Right. I would have said the same thing.
Yep. Pair of Ultra Boost. Ultra Boost, my favorite shoe to travel in.
Yep.
So I would be my traveling shoe, casual shoe, everyday shoe. So that's 4 Air Max 90. And then honestly, yeah, it probably would be a pair of either Vans or like Chucks. You know what I mean? Just another timeless kick. But I really like a pair of Vans Authentics. You know what I mean? Like the navy pair.
Yeah.
That way, it's like I've got like 5 wearable, pretty simple shoes.
That is a solid 5 right there. Like seriously, you covered every freaking avenue, dude.
Well, that's what I mean. You got the gym, you've got the casual, so, and that's the thing, it's like, because dress shoes too, you got to have a pair of like brown dress shoes or black dress shoes too. So if you're going to work that in, but if it's just sneakers, that's it.
All right. So sucks. I'm not good at these type of questions.
Do you want me to go?
I'm gonna. You got it? Yeah, go ahead. You got it. Go.
Okay. So
you excited? It's not fair.
Let me tell you. So I would start off with a pair of Air Jordan 1s, probably the Breads, because I mean, if I had to have one pair of Air Jordans for the rest of my life, that would be what it is. Then of course, a pair of Ultra Boosts for the same reason that Yoanty said, because traveling and just general wear and tear. That's a go-to. Probably a pair of the 3.0s because I like the fit of the upper a little bit better on the 3.0s. It's a little bit looser, which I like. I would go for a pair of crazy explosive lows because that's a crazy on-court model. They're not great outside, but they're great indoors, and you can't beat them. They're also like really comfortable just for daily wear too, so you wouldn't be losing there. I'd probably go also with a pair of because right now the only 3s that I can think that I have in my collection are the True Blues. I'd probably go with the pair of the True Blues, and then my last pair would be was that 4? That was 4, right?
4.
Okay, and then my last pair would be the $60 Nike running shoe called the Nike Fury, and that shoe is one of the most, like, for a $60 shoe, it's unbelievably comfortable, and it's got like barely any cushion in it. I don't know how they did it, but it's got barely any cushion. It's an insane running shoe because you get this great ground feel. And then, like, it's just this simple black Nike shoe. And it's awesome. Like, it's super, super comfortable.
Solid list.
Yeah, thank you.
Yeah, man. All right. Here we go. My turn. So first and foremost, I'm going to go with a pair of the red Authentic Vans.
Nice.
Just because, like I said earlier, they're timeless. You can wear them with everything all the time at any age. And next, I'm going to go with the pair of Jordan 1 All-Stars because that's actually like my favorite Jordan 1 colorway. Like, I really legitimately love that color.
Mm-hmm.
I'll go with the Jordan 8 Aquas because I love that. That's one shoe that I've wanted and loved since middle school, like seeing the kids go like wear them and I couldn't get them. So definitely, I'll walk. Even though they're clunkers, man, that's like you only wear them for a couple of hours. That's it. But what's that? 3? I'll go with a pair of Sauconys. Probably the Grid. What are they called? Grid 5000, I think they're called.
Shadow 5000 or Grid 9000.
Grid 9000? No, the Grid SD. I'm sorry.
Grid SD, yeah.
It's the Grid SD because that's my favorite model, and I'll probably go with the blue pair since I got the red pair of Vans. But they're super comfortable and they look dope on feet. And actually, because I live in Boston, and my last pair would be some winter boots. It's a pair of Vans and Publish brand winter boots. They're black that are super dope, super sick, and very necessary for the weather.
For sure.
Solid.
That's a great list, man.
Heard. Awesome. And I think that is going to wrap it up for the show for tonight. I just want to thank everybody for tuning in and kicking it with us and asking questions and leaving comments. I want to thank Yoanty for
huge
showing up. And actually, do you have anything you want to blast? Your channel, your media?
No. Just want to say I hope you guys continue to do this. I think live chats are an awesome platform, and just keep having fun with it. Keep at both your channels and try to keep the live thing going. I think it's really cool, and I think all the viewers should support it too. Make sure you guys are hitting the thumbs up, leaving them comments, Twitter. Encourage both of these guys to keep plugging away at it, because I think it's a fun platform that isn't used enough in sneakers. So congrats to both of you guys, and keep grinding.
Oh, shucks. Oh, thanks, man. Thank you. Seriously. That means that I hit the H right there, man.
Exactly.
Oh,
yeah,
man.
but other than that, I mean, if Yoanty, just search Yoanty, you'll find some crazy guy with a beard and a bunch of other.
We've got all of Yoanty's social and his YouTube channel and everything in the description below. So if you're crazy if you don't know who he is. He's one of the original sneaker YouTubers. You guys all know who he is. If you're not subscribed, make sure to subscribe. Also subscribe to OT Dub as well. And thank you guys so much for coming out. We really appreciate all you guys. Yoanty, thank you again so much. It's crazy, especially for me, because I watched both of you guys. I watched your live chats, years ago, and this is like dream come true. But we'd love to have you back. So thank you again. Appreciate it.
Of course, man. Anytime.
Awesome.
Till next week, guys. See you later.
See you next week, Wednesday, 8:00. Be there. Give me 1 second to move the mouse and stop right there.
The classic.
Shout out to the exit. That was.
There we go. Once again, thank you guys for watching. Make sure to subscribe if you haven't yet. Sneakers through your speakers. We'll be back next Wednesday. Our next guest will be the Real Rare A20. Have a good night, you guys, for real this time. Peace.
Peace.